Welcome to Episode 15, Security, Governance, and Manageability Benefits. The cloud operates on the principle of shared responsibility, meaning both the provider and the customer have vital roles in keeping systems safe and well managed. Microsoft Azure secures the underlying infrastructure, physical data centers, networking, and foundational services, while customers are responsible for securing their data, identities, and configurations. This partnership allows both sides to focus on their strengths. Understanding where the line is drawn prevents gaps and overlaps that could weaken your defenses. Governance and manageability sit alongside security, ensuring your environment stays organized, compliant, and efficient as it grows. Together, these disciplines create a trustworthy and predictable foundation for digital operations. Centralized identity and access control are at the core of cloud security. Azure's identity platform, Microsoft Entra ID, allows users to authenticate once and access multiple services securely. Administrators can enforce multi-factor authentication, conditional access policies, and role-based permissions across all resources. This centralization eliminates scattered credentials and reduces the risk of privilege creep. It also simplifies onboarding and offboarding. One change in the directory updates access everywhere. Managing identity centrally turns access control from a manual chore into an automated safeguard. In a world of remote work and distributed teams, this unified identity layer is the modern perimeter that protects your organization's core. Threat protection is increasingly built directly into the cloud platform itself. Azure Defender and Microsoft Sentinel continuously analyze activity across your resources, looking for anomalies that signal attacks or misconfigurations. Machine learning models flag suspicious behavior and correlate signals from billions of global events. This level of insight would be nearly impossible for individual organizations to replicate on their own. Built-in threat protection doesn't replace human analysts, but it amplifies them, providing visibility across workloads and services in real time. By leveraging these tools, you shift from reactive firefighting to proactive defense, where threats are detected early and neutralized before they escalate. Encryption protects data wherever it lives or moves. Azure encrypts information at rest using strong algorithms, such as Advanced Encryption Standard 256-bit, and it automatically enforces encryption in transit using protocols like Transport Layer Security. These protections apply to storage, databases, and communications between services. For added assurance, customers can manage their own keys through Azure Key Vault, maintaining control over access to sensitive data. Encryption is not just a compliance requirement, it's a fundamental hygiene practice. When combined with identity controls, it ensures that even if data is intercepted or stolen, it remains unreadable without authorization. Encryption, done by default, turns security into an invisible constant rather than an afterthought. Policy as code transforms governance from a static checklist into an active system. Azure Policy allows you to define rules for resource deployment, configuration, and compliance, then enforce them automatically. For example, you can require all storage accounts to use encryption, restrict which regions can host data, or block deployments that lack required tags. Policies run continuously, auditing existing resources and preventing non-compliant ones from being created. This automation replaces manual reviews and reduces human error. Over time, policy as code becomes the organization's immune system, catching missteps early and maintaining a consistent security posture across thousands of resources. Resource tagging builds ownership clarity, which is essential for both cost and governance. Tags are simple metadata labels like project marketing or owner finance, but they transform how you manage your environment. They make it easy to see which team owns a resource, why it exists, and how it aligns with business goals. Tagging supports cost allocation, compliance tracking, and even access policies. Without tags, resources become anonymous and hard to control. With them, visibility and accountability flourish. In large organizations, tagging is often the first step toward true manageability. It connects technical assets back to human responsibility. Blueprints in Azure help create compliant environments quickly and repeatably. A blueprint packages together resource templates, policies, role assignments, and governance controls into one deployable design. When applied, it ensures that every new environment starts with the correct configuration. This prevents drift from standards and speeds up new project launches. Imagine spinning up a new development environment that already includes approved networking, monitoring, and security settings, no manual setup required. Blueprints act like architectural drawings for your cloud, turning compliance from a burden into a built-in feature. They help organizations scale governance without slowing innovation. Drift detection and configuration baselines ensure that systems remain consistent over time. Drift occurs when a configuration changes outside approved methods, potentially introducing risk. Azure tools like Resource Manager and Desired State Configuration continuously compare live settings to known baselines and alert when discrepancies appear. This visibility allows teams to correct issues before they cause outages or compliance violations. Automation can even remediate drift automatically, restoring resources to their intended state. Maintaining baselines is like keeping calibration in a machine. It ensures accuracy, stability, and trust in your infrastructure's behavior. Automated updates and patch orchestration are crucial to keeping environments secure. In traditional systems, applying patches often required manual effort and downtime, leaving windows of vulnerability. Azure streamlines this process through managed services that update hosts, operating systems, and applications automatically. You can schedule maintenance windows, control rollout pace, and monitor completion from a single interface. Automated patching reduces the likelihood of forgotten updates that attackers could exploit. It also frees administrators to focus on higher-level security improvements. When updates happen quietly and predictably, your environment stays protected without constant firefighting. Unified monitoring and incident workflows tie together operations, security, and governance. Azure Monitor, Log Analytics, and Microsoft Sentinel collect signals from across your environment, correlating logs, metrics, and alerts into a single view. When an incident occurs, integrated playbooks guide response, who to notify, what steps to take, and how to escalate. These unified workflows ensure that teams act quickly and consistently. They also create valuable data for later review, improving readiness over time. Unified monitoring turns detection and response from isolated tasks into coordinated teamwork, ensuring every incident strengthens your defenses instead of draining them. Cost visibility is an often overlooked benefit of good governance. By linking spending data to policies and tags, Azure Cost Management shows how resources align with budgets and ownership. This transparency prevents uncontrolled growth and helps leadership see which departments or projects drive consumption. Governance isn't just about security, it's also about financial accountability. When cost data is visible and mapped to purpose, organizations can make smarter decisions about scaling, reservations, and cleanup. In this way, financial management becomes part of governance discipline, reinforcing efficient, sustainable operations. Provenance, auditing, and evidence trails are vital for demonstrating compliance and trust. Azure automatically logs changes, access events, and policy outcomes. These records show who did what, when, and why. Information essential for audits or investigations. Proper auditing builds confidence with regulators, customers, and internal stakeholders. It also supports faster troubleshooting by pinpointing configuration changes that preceded an issue. By treating logs as long-term evidence rather than temporary diagnostics, organizations can prove both accountability and integrity. In regulated industries, these trails are not just conveniences, they're survival tools. Balancing agility with safe defaults is the ongoing art of cloud governance. Security controls should guide innovation, not stifle it. The key is to start with conservative defaults, strong authentication, encryption, and least privilege access, and then relax them only when justified by clear business needs. Policy exceptions should be deliberate and time-bound. This approach allows teams to move quickly while remaining compliant. It's easier to grant flexibility temporarily than to recover from a major incident. Safe defaults create a healthy tension between freedom and control, keeping progress aligned with responsibility. A secure-by-default mindset ties everything together. It means building systems where security, governance, and manageability are not optional add-ons, but core design principles. The cloud makes this easier than ever by providing security as a service, automatic updates, built-in monitoring, and global threat intelligence available from day one. When you adopt this mindset, every new deployment starts from a position of strength. You move faster because trust is built into the foundation. In the end, secure by default is not just about technology, it's about culture. It's the daily discipline of protecting users, data, and reputation while still delivering innovation confidently in the cloud. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.